Everyone, I'm here to talk to you about Identify the Immune. Identify the Immune is a platform for matching people who have tested positive for coronavirus with high impact volunteer opportunities. So during the crisis, there are lots of needs for volunteers, and many people are interested in helping out. But it's super hard to match and actually get the right volunteers to the right opportunities. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, there is a special role for volunteers who have tested positive for coronavirus. Number one, there is an experimental treatment called convalescent plasma, where those who have had the virus donate blood and their antibodies are purified and given to the very ill. This experimental treatment has been fast-tracked by FDA as of last week, and opportunities to donate are super sensitive. So these requests are very time sensitive, and having a pre-vetted list of positive donors who can be contacted at the time of need can save a life. Number two, so the world needs better COVID-19 diagnostics. We need diagnostics that can tell who's contagious, who's immune and not contagious. We need tests that are faster, cheaper, and scale better. People working on those tests need to validate that the diagnostics work, and they need volunteers who have tested positive to do that. So I have run clinical research before, and recruiting volunteers is super slow. Going as fast as we can actually is going to be making a full difference in diagnostic technology. Number three, those that are immune will be needed to do errands for the elderly or sick, like prepare food or volunteer in a medical setting. If they can replace the non-immune in critical roles, then we can have a huge impact in flattening the curve. So essentially our app has two parts. So first we have a bank of volunteer opportunities. Most opportunities are regional, and we can contact volunteers in the area on behalf of institutions. So here you can see volunteer opportunities shown in pink on the map and volunteers in purple. Second, we have a bank of volunteers. We ask them to submit a lab report and keep track of the durations since their positive test, as well as the severity of their illness. This is useful for those who are developing diagnostics or therapeutics. For example, those who want to diagnose who is contagious, you might ask for volunteers who were diagnosed in the past few days. So we care deeply about privacy, and we would not give out any contact information to institutions. Rather, we would contact volunteers on behalf of the institutions as we ask them to opt in to specific opportunities. Our operations team is HIPAA trained, and the data is stored in HIPAA compliant medical records application. So we also keep track of when people were diagnosed. They upload a copy, as I said, of the lab report, and we segment them into cohorts. What level of symptoms they have. This is super useful, as the people that were diagnosed several weeks ago, then they will have recovered by now. So they can actually participate in the volunteer opportunities. So you can see here, as of March from 1 to 7, this is the portion of people that were asymptomatic. The pink segment here is people that are sick at home, and these people here are in the hospital, so no ICU. So if you have tested positive for COVID-19, all you need to do is hit volunteer, which is right here, and then type in your information like name, email, phone, address continued in case it's long, city, state, country. It's very, very important to upload the lab report that confirms that your test is positive. Obviously, we cannot accept people that are saying, okay, that they feel very strongly that they're positive or that their doctor suggested it. We need to see the actual lab report. And as mentioned, finding out the severity of the symptoms is very important, so that we can actually have a timestamp between the submission of this form and the time that we are going to be sending people to volunteer opportunities. And then anything else people may want to include. We have a privacy policy, and we are explaining briefly, the following measures we take to protect people's privacy. As mentioned, we're taking this very, very seriously, and we would never share information with the volunteer organizations. So how can you help? Partnerships with institutions like the US Digital Response and Research Institutions, such as CZI, will give volunteers confidence that their data given to identify the immune will be used for good. Please help us make this a reality.